Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GWM. We have what is hopefully one of the final videos on Dr. Disrespect. I know that we have done a lot of videos this week on it, but the story's been developing throughout the week, so hopefully you guys do understand that. Today we have Slasher dropping his article on exactly the 4-year anniversary of his historic tweet. The article that he dropped did include some new information and answered a lot of questions that many people were asking, especially people that were still defending Dr. Disrespect. Slasher says that a former Twitch trust and safety employee who worked for the platform at the time Beam was banned and has direct knowledge of the matter confirmed to Rolling Stone that Beam continued to send sexually graphic messages to a minor he knew to be underage. This former employee, who requested anonymity to avoid jeopardizing their career, also said that crucial elements of Beam's latest defensive tweet are inaccurate. So one of the bigger questions that was being asked throughout this process was, okay, if it was a minor, did Dr. Disrespect know that they were a minor? And if you found out at a certain point, did he cease communications after that point? That was a large question, because if he didn't know they were a minor and maybe once he found out he stopped talking to them, or he never knew to begin with, then it's a little bit, some people would say, defensible in that situation, right? Maybe he was lied to. Maybe he had no idea, and then later on he was told. That happens a lot, pretty often, especially in like pro athletes have that happen to them frequently, as well as celebrities. But we now have firsthand confirmation from a source who was on the Trust and Safety Committee at Twitch who worked on this. And guys, on the back end, we can tell you that Slasher is using primary sources. These aren't people who just heard from someone who heard from someone. The only sources that he was using to confirm things were first-hand sources, people who were involved with this. It continues to say, I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on. The former employee says, there was no confusion. Messages sent after this was acknowledged were no less graphic and in sexually explicit nature than before, and I think more than the categorization of leaning too much in the direction of being inappropriate might indicate. So not only did the graphic messages continue after he found out that they were underage, but they are suggesting that it wasn't even just, as Doc phrased, leaning towards inappropriate, but worse than that would suggest. We're also told that the ex-Twitch employee provided Rolling Stone a more detailed account of the internal conversations at Twitch following the report of Beam's messages and his subsequent ban. They say the details of Beam's case are coming out because of Connor's explosive tweet last week. Cody definitely got the ball rolling. Me and many of my former colleagues are only comfortable speaking up now because of it. Our priority is always to the safety of the alleged victim and to keep their identity secret, they said. And that last part of the statement, I think, is probably one of the most important, where a lot of questions are coming in, where people say, hey, we wanted to see the whispers. Why didn't anyone talk about this? Why aren't things coming out? And I think the reason is because the victim in the situation is people's biggest priority. Journalists who are following a code of ethics, who are trying to be responsible in their journalism, like Slasher, have a duty to protect the victim first before just going for the big article that's going to expose Doc. And I think this begs a bigger question that a lot of people are now asking, which is, well, why did Twitch not say anything about this? And what is Twitch protecting in this and many other situations? The article continues to say that Twitch actually created a team codenamed Gold Sparrow to develop a process to investigate and take action on reports as one unit. Speaking of, there was another former Twitch employee called Relum on Twitter who said, I don't think most people have an idea of how bad things were behind the scenes at Twitch. I literally worked in the department that had access to the most data and information. I saw private whispers. It was literally my job to investigate daily. I saw things every single day that I never wished I ever had to see. I always advocated for being a good human, always expressed with heavy emotion on my streams how Twitch let pedophiles run free every day. I signed an NDA and I'm afraid to get in trouble, but I have to say something. It's been bothering me for so long. These sick Fs don't deserve to be free. Which then is reminiscent of an article back from 2022 from the New York Post, who said that nearly 300,000 children were targeted by predators on Twitch. According to the results that were initially investigated by Bloomberg, approximately 2,000 users were discovered to be specifically following younger streamers during their 22-month period of research. Twitch made a statement then saying, we know that online platforms can be used to cause harm to children and have made extensive investments over the last 2 years to better stay ahead of bad actors and prevent any users who may be under 13 from accessing Twitch. Twitch's policy if it verifies potential cases of child predation or grooming, is to notify the proper authorities and launch an investigation into the alleged groomers network, which includes any alternate accounts or non-child accounts the accused may interact with. So what I'm left wondering in that situation is how true that really is, that statement to Bloomberg. So if they did catch wind of this in Doc's whispers, which was verified by firsthand sources and verified that he knew that it was a minor that he was talking to, then was there an investigation happening? Was it reported to proper authorities? But to me, this now solidifies the view on Dr. Disrespect and the fact that, hey, no one should be supporting this in any way, shape, or fashion. There should be no more questions about the situation, but this does beg a lot of questions for Twitch now. This says the initial report from Doc's alleged inappropriate messages came through in 2020. An investigation began. After viewing the contents of the whisper conversation, it quickly became clear the egregiousness of conduct and what actions Twitch must take, the former employee says. The decision to permanently terminate Beam was relatively quick due to the severity of the behavior. They also acknowledged that Twitch can't and won't make the alleged messages public, the ex-employee says, as this not only endangers the victim in investigations by law enforcement. And the interesting thing I do want to know is Jake and I were going through our old videos on Esports Talk when Jake was making videos on the very first time that Doc was banned to begin with. And there was a video where there was a clip from Doc talking about his ban.
Okay. I really want you to look me in my eyes, okay? I really want you to look me in my eyes when I say this. We still have no idea. We have no idea. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Bunch of phonies. We have no idea. And I'm going to tell you this right now. As far as I'm concerned, we didn't do anything to warrant a ban, let alone how they went about banning us. No communication before, no reaching out, nothing. Boom, done. So the problem is, too, there's people in the community that are anxious for an answer. And so what that does, it creates a level of urgency and speculation. And I think it's just a cockroach approach. Period. Last thing I'm going to say about it. And I have to be intelligent about all this. Because you're talking about a heavy contract. Lots of money. I mean, I got a mansion with an infinity pool and geysers that come out of cement tiles every time you walk. And it has LED lights. I mean, there's big money involved. So let the legal professionals do what they need to do. That's it.
So the fact that the ban was very quick seems to be quite true in this situation where Doc was originally saying, I have no idea what happened. There was no communication, just an instant ban in 2020. One final note I do want to make from Slasher's article is that he mentions Doc's time on YouTube. It says that YouTube's former global head of gaming, Ryan Wyatt, confirmed to Rolling Stone that Beam was not offered a contract due to chatter about the circumstances of his Twitch ban. He says that a Twitch employee and journalist investigating the incident told YouTube employees that it involved inappropriate messages to a minor. There were so many rumors circulating in the industry, one that a minor was involved, but no one produced firsthand knowledge or evidence, and because of those rumors, there was no reason to entertain doing any deal with Doc. And no evidence produced means you can't act on a TOS violation. The whole situation got even more confusing when Twitch settled and effectively said no wrongdoing, which made everyone in the industry dismiss the rumors, but even still, there was never a reason to do a deal with him after that ban. Foiz then continued to clarify this on Twitter, saying it was a rumor circulating in the industry and no evidence was provided at all. So we passed on doing a deal. We never promoted him either, which pissed him off. You can't demonetize or deplatform without evidence. Now they can act, which we know that Doc was frustrated with YouTube for a long time. And this kind of goes to show why YouTube was not interacting with Doc on a higher level, even not following him for years, and definitely not giving him a platform deal. Which does now suggest that they could act on the situation now and potentially take away his YouTube platform. And to people asking, well, what evidence do they have to do that? It would be his self-admission of talking to a minor in inappropriate ways.
Hey everyone, just making this video due to the fact that a lot of people are obviously wondering what my thoughts are on the Doc situation. People speculating what my silence over the last few days means. I want to start by saying the silence has been nothing more than probably what it's been for a lot of people over the last few days. It's been pretty devastating, devastating news. Just hard to come to grips with. For Doc, I hope this is a dark part of his past. I hope he learns from the situation, and it never happens again. A full-grown man messaging a minor is unacceptable, and I can't stand by that. So that's it.
And that's all we have for today, guys. I think likely this is one of the last videos. Like I said, hopefully there's no more developing in this story. Like I said, I can only hope, but we might do one longer video as far as Doc's full kind of timeline of everything that happened all the way back from the ban to now, and kind of the development of that, all of his statements along the way. So let us know if you'd be interested. That would likely be Jake doing that video in a couple weeks here. We'll let things play out and see how they go. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you haven't. It does help a lot, guys. I'll catch you later.